this button and say, yo, what up? How's it going, man?
Good, yourself?
I'm well. I'm well. You are officially my first retro deck. I believe that's true. My first retro deck, which if you want retro or My Hero Spotlight or no legacy, I think retro's back as far as I can go. If you want some retro decks made for your deck doctors, please don't hesitate. That sounds cool and fun. I think Nick Reagan might have made me do a retro deck at one point, but it was like a year and a half ago. But first in a long, long time. Anyways, Nightmare. We have your cool Nightmare deck.
Yes. Well, I can't take all the credit.
Where's the rest of the credit going?
It's Shane's.
It's Shane from like a YouTube video or something?
Duckworth. Yeah, it's his, like, I guess, championship list. So I kind of altered a little bit.
Okay. So my question is what do you need my help with? What's going on here?
Well, there's some new stuff coming out with Godzilla and the Girl Power.
Uh-huh.
And I need to know if when some changes are need to be made. And should I just stick with older stuff or incorporate newer stuff? I mean, at first I had 3 revokes, now I got 2 and a Fierce Wings Ignited Arrow. So I really don't know how it would hold up to now happening.
Well, I can
we both appreciate a throw deck.
Yeah, I mean, Life Force Thread, Azuna Drop is kind of a hell of a drug. Vicious Madness. It's crazy cards. Have you played this deck in paper? Do you know like its play patterns and such?
I do, but not with Ignited Arrow in it. It's basically I've been playing retro without any MHA or later cards.
Sure. Okay. Let's talk about it, right? First and foremost, Revoke is a crazy card, and you have to play it at a 4 of. This card's nutso. This card's crazy. Response after rival plays enhanced ability, cancel it, remove this card is like stupid good, and then it being a foundation is crazy. The fact that it doesn't have a block is not that big of a deal, truthfully. You've got 29 health, you'll be fine. Exactly. Crazy. 2 bots tonight. That's nuts. So instantly this becomes a 4 of. For Fierce Wings, why are you playing Fierce Wings? Like, what's the point? What's the idea here?
Well, if you need it, you can pick up Revoke, but also in reversals, you can, especially when one of my other local players is playing just on Wah.
Sure.
That does stun.
Yeah.
I can, and response, build in a Ninja Outcast from discard.
Okay, that's neat. I think that's more of like a sideboard idea rather than putting it in the main board, because I don't think that, like, although Zhanghua is very good and although stun is very good, I don't think Fierce Wings is so important to what this deck wants to do that you like have to have it. I'm not here for the main board. I think sideboard is perfect. I'm down for the sideboard, but I'm gonna cut the Fierce Wings. Let's talk about the attack lineup, right? Because I will say that, like, this, although this is a retro list, this is actually Shane made this out of the standard format. There's a ton of old cards that you are missing under the evil symbol. There's just a ton. How far back can I go? The answer is very. Let's keep rocking it. Let's keep rocking it. Okay. So, like, as we look, like, all the way back here, like, I don't know how easy these cards are to get, right? But
And that was another thing I was wondering is, like, do we just stick with the throws? Do we go outside of Nightmare's static with attacks?
So I made a Nightmare deck a long time ago that was all about 2 checks. What is the name of this card? I bet if I just type in the word time, I will find it. Time Slow. So this card doesn't hit the spot but it was, or maybe it was a Time Man deck that I did it, and I was just playing a bunch of Nightmare cards. Sorry, this was 4 years ago, and I made it to play one time. This was definitely a Time Man deck because this guy was crazy. This guy should be in your sideboard for sure.
Okay.
Check a 4. Your tech gets plus speed. X equals half of its printed damage rounded down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see.
So it's like check a 4. Your move gets 4 speed.
Yeah.
Which is pretty okay. Discard a momentum after your ready phase. It gets your all checks get -1 for this turn. You can do that during your rival's turn. You just break or 1 them for the entire turn. After you hit them with a throw. Let's go back. So I think Vicious Madness obviously gets to be a 4 of. I'm not a huge fan of From Hell in this deck. I get that it accomplishes this goal, but I think having a better card here is better. A 4 diff, because if you look at our difficulty curve, they're all 5 diffs, right?
Gotcha.
So I get this has Desperation 4. I get that. I get this has Desperation 4. I get that. These aren't 5 diffs eventually, but they are, right? I think that there is, I believe, it's tough because I can't. No, this isn't it. There was a card. Man, it is tough. 2 for 4. I'm looking. I'm doing some looking.
That's fine. Because I know, like, in this side, I put some considerations, like, from Godzilla, and there's the Demon Grab, too.
Hey, okay. Takedown is the card I was thinking of. I knew it. I knew it was a card from my Scorpion deck. Takedown. Great card. Super, super red. It just, like, guarantees it gets a block out of their hand, but it's on the low zone. So maybe the idea of, like, maybe, like, a 2x From Hell, 4x Ignited Arrow? Because this is just, like, 12 damage that, like, they have to deal with from Nightmare, because you get to pick it back up. Or if they do block it, you get to go find Vicious Madness, which is, a pretty good one.
Because, there are some times where you can do Life Force Thread into From Hell, and it's just got a lot of speed.
I mean, I don't hate that, but at the same time, like this is a 5 diff into a 7 diff. Yes. Right? Like, you just, like, check a 3 one time. If they have any way to, like, interact with this move, right? Like, you just, like, lose, right? This is an evil deck.
Yes.
I'm going to try and sell you on my favorite card that's ever been printed. This one. This card, I'll use the OG. 0 high block, or 1 high block. When you attempt to block with this card, reduce the speed of your opponent's attack to 0. So it's just a free high block. While this card's in your card pool, after your rival loses 1 health after a block is successfully played, it includes itself. So after you block, you just burn them. And then any other block you do, you just burn them.
Gotcha.
It's a Desperation 4. It's a very fast for very low. It's just essentially an action card that says if my rival ever goes to 1 health, I kill them. Because I play Flame Aura. If they fully block it, they lose 1. Because it could just kill them. It's kind of like the same idea of, like, as Nightmare, right? If blocked, right? They discard the top 3, and then they lose health. Imagine they always lose 1, and then they potentially lose up to 3 more, right? It's like, you just, like, don't block Flame Aura. I love Flame Aura, and I think that it is super, super worth putting in here. But again, it's not normally an attack card. It is oh, thank goodness you have a block, right? If you go Life Force Thread into From Hell, I'm just gonna block it because you have a 0 speed move, and I got my 1 high block. For some reason, I have to fix this. Give me a second. I do this, and then I do this. I will set you as the current deck. I will do this. I will do this. It is Nightmare. Flame Aura. I am such a Flame Aura fan. If this card is not in your main board, it should at least exist in your sideboard. And I think going up to 20 attacks is not that big of a deal, truthfully. True Identity. This card has to come out of your deck now. This card, it being a first form, is not good enough. I think it doesn't have to. No, sorry, it doesn't have to come out of your deck. Pardon me, but it should probably drop down to like a 2 of maybe. This card does not need to be in the deck for sure. You know. Face of a monster should increase by 1 because once you're at desperation, you can change the zone to any other zone and just block with your Flame Aura for free.
Gotcha.
You are not playing. Where is it? Evil Foundation 6-check go. Where are you? Orphan Alchemist is a crazy card.
Yeah, I had that in the like budget build.
This card is. I don't think this card's a budget card. I think it exists in the deck somewhere. What's our stats look like? Whoa, this is so big. Look at your low blocks. And I included 2 low blocks. You had 8 low blocks prior to this. Crazy. Block zones. Why a Zuna drop and not just another Life Force thread?
I think it's just a flash anti momentum.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it could be a sideboard for any deck that is heavy for momentum.
Sure.
Could be.
That's fair. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna take face back down. I really feel like I have to get Orphan Alchemist in this deck because it's like so important. Just like look at the top card of your deck. Also, after someone plays a non-character ability that causes 1 or more cards to leave your deck or discard pile, cancel it. You may draw 1 card. Like making me mill or anything that messes with that. I just like tell them no, and I get to draw a bonus card. And it's a 1/6 2 low block.
Gotcha.
So many high blocks. Look at our block zones. I think we might just have too many high blocks here. And I think the answer might be like taking Profane down by 1, taking Azure down by 1. We just increased our low blocks or our 6 checks by 3. And so like losing a 6 check here is not that big of a deal. I'm a huge fan of New Empress. Pay 3 health, flip, draw a card. Look at Desperation Hands. Look at the top card of their deck is very good. Face is good. I'm not a Cage Fighter fan.
I've been on like the fence for it, to be honest.
I think the Cage Fighter is not what this deck wants. I actually just want to cut it. I just want to get rid of it altogether.
I was already on the fence with it.
If I do that, we're at 62 and 20 with Ignited Arrow to go draw cards. Yeah. This is kind of where I'm at. If we wanted to get really crispy with it, we could just put the 1 Flame Aura in the main board, and it's like a real true surprise thing. And so, above the tides, thank you for the follow. We could take and, like, as a surprise thing, put 1 more in the sideboard, maybe. I love Flame Aura. It's the reason that I play Scorpion, truthfully. It's just, this is my favorite printed card of all time. If I got to print a card, it would just be Flame Aura. That's all it would be. Yeah. When it comes to so let's look at as we sort again by difficulty, right? Ton of spam here. If you have newer cards that you want to mess with, it could be like taking Most Trusted Assassin down to like a 2 of, right? We could put you at a 2 of and toss in like a couple of Incubating. Where did you go? Incubating at like a 2 of would not be terrible because these cards are like available to you. Still at 61. This is great, increasing this number. When we look at block zones again, we still have a ton of highs, but I feel like we're not allowed to like we just can't mess with these numbers when it comes to high blocks. And most of your high blocks are coming in from your attacks, right? Flame Aura, From Hell, Reconquista, Ignite Arrow. Like these are all high blocks.
Okay.
And so like, there's maybe the idea of like, instead of Ignited Arrow at the 3 of, you could toss in 1 copy of Takedown, right? As like an idea. And it's a way to catch them a little off guard, and it happens to be a 1 low block as opposed to a high block, right?
Not only that, but I've noticed like when people play against Nightmare, they don't want to block because you can just pick up the attack again.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Oh, he says if it is blocked?
Yes.
Your attack. After your blocked attack resolves, add it to your hand. Well, then I think that we're supposed to play Takedown more than we're supposed to play Ignited Arrow. I think we're supposed to just swap these entirely.
And that's what was another reason why I brought this to you is like, is Ignited Arrow the right one, or is Takedown
It's
right?
definitely Takedown. Desperation 3, still the 6 damage move. It's a 1 low block to round out our numbers. This looks so much better. Holy cow, this looks so much better. I mean, it was just literally that one fix.
Any noteworthy foundations from a newer one?
Why can't I draw my first hand? Honestly, no. These cards all just like do so much. These cards just do a ton. Re-readying a card, anti-stun, incredible. Mill 3 for 1 damage on a 1 diff is crazy. This card re-readies itself on a 0 diff, that's crazy. Stopping reversal or canceling weapons, crazy. +1 to your check for the whole turn, crazy. This is the card that I'm a little like if we wanted to get crazy with it, depending on how we feel, I gotta get rid of you. I don't think that did I click
Deselected. Yeah.
evil? I don't think that quick to act is a bad card. I don't think that floating is a bad card. But the question is like, is floating around my babies better than most trusted assassin? Maybe like most trusted could be a 1 of, and then floating could be a 1 of. If you don't like the defensive ability of incubating, or you don't like the Orphan Alchemist, right? You're not a fan of what Orphan Alchemist has got going on. You can just put in quick to acts, and whenever they get to half health, you just murder them for it, right?
And then now your throws are doing full value, or your attacks are doing full value. Or
Yeah,
it's harder for the block.
I mean that's the hope, right? But the question is like, is incubating better? 1/5 that like lets you actually like leverage your 29 health.
Honestly, I think it also interacts with Soul of Sword. I'm not mistaken.
This one? Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. After an attack's block, if there's an attack, that's cool. This is really neat. Soul of the Sword. This is a very cool idea. Response after an attack is blocked, if there's a copy of that attack in your roof game piled. Incubating's tight. Hold on, that's cool. That's very neat. So maybe the idea is we actually just toss this at a 4 of and we kill one of the Orphan Alchemists. I love that card. I think that card's so cool. But this puts us back to 60, and these numbers are still decent enough. But like, Face a Monster, crazy card. Last of Its Kind, crazy card. Outwell's Heiress.
Last of the Kind is just nuts.
This is a crazy card.
Lose 2 for my 4 all day long.
Outworld's Heiress is... There are some people that aren't a huge fan of it. I am. I think this card is crazy. I think lose X Vitality on your 2 low block is very good. But there is like maybe an idea of like... when it comes to Evil Foundations... Let's see. Fighting for Control is a very good piece to be put in this deck. Settling Old Debts is just more draw power. Although I think that the
Empress is the same, but you just lose health for it.
Yeah, and this has you can look at the top, right?
Yeah.
And this says if they for somehow are playing some gimmick deck that like they don't get 6 foundations, you can just flip and draw still, right? On turn 2.
Not only that, but it helps you get into desperation.
Yeah.
On your turn.
Defending Pageant Queen is a great card. Incompatible Quirks is a great card. Cooperation Offer, still a great card for these symbols. We're looking. Quick to act, we talked about.
Full on attack mode?
Full on attack mode is fine. Do you not have a lock breaker already? No. You technically don't have a lock breaker, so if you get to deadlock and you want to get out, you don't have one. So like, full attack mode is not bad, especially because you're playing so many throws. So like I don't hate full on attack mode. I'll toss it in the sideboard. We already talked about floating. Fruits is a crazy card in your deck. If they go to deadlock, you just murder them for it, right? It's like they go to 11 foundations, and you just slam all their cards into from their hand to their stage, and then you just play double vicious madness and just like pump them for 20, right? Like,
Yeah.
Is that better than incubating? I don't know. Is that better than Outworld Eris? I don't know. Outworld Eris says that you get to get rid of an asset or foundation from their stage, right? I'm down to lose 2 and get rid of it. Right. There's also the idea of like, as we look back at old cards, you're not playing apathetic or brute strength. As we look back at old cards, you're not playing Royal Bodyguard. I was supposed to put this in the sideboard. That work? Yeah. Royal Bodyguard is incredible. A tenacious flip, creeped out. That also counts as being Moneta. Discard momentum rival as a top card of their deck to their card pool face down.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
it's
that's
a
really good
tongue
for
whip on a
restraint.
foundation,
Yeah.
right? Like crazy. It's very, very good. And then we haven't. I guess I don't think they programmed it in. We're only looking at foundations. Infinity Go. This card, half of your deck are weapons. Response commit after weapon attack is played, seal it. Saying that, I guess half of your cards aren't weapons. Just kidding. Half of the really good cards in the game are weapons from Retro. They're just all weapons. Like Soul Calibur just like is supposed to exist in your sideboard somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll toss it in. Yeah. The reason that I don't make... I have made retro decks. Oh, not on this channel. Just kidding. The reason that I don't make retro decks is truly I get decision paralysis when it comes to retro. There are actually too many cool things to put into a 60-card deck. There's actually just too much cool stuff to do.
And honestly, I just wanted to bring this in to see what different options I might not have thought about or know about
Yeah.
that could improve the deck more. Because I was on the fence with the Ignited Arrow or Takedown. Takedown was in the initial.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be takedown because it says not blocked. And we just want them to block it so I can pick it up and play it again. And this is like goes and finds me an attack card.
If they do take it, I get the card and I get the momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, the momentum for From Hell or Ninja Outcast.
There's other things you can use it for, yeah, but it's there.
Yeah. I mean, the other momentum out that we had was like if you want was I don't know what was it on this one? Yeah, it was the Royal Bodyguard, right? It was a perfect momentum out. So the foundation is enhanced, it protects when damage you copy without checking your card pool. The card's terrible, holy shit. You believe I paid money for that card? Man, looking at these cards is such a blast from the
Nostalgia.
past.
Yeah.
If you want to get crazy, all right. So here's the real Tam Tech that nobody ever talks about. You ready? And I put this in my Scorpion deck 100% of the time. Blood for Blood's a crazy card. Blood for Blood is crazy. I lose 2 if it's blocked. You lose 2 is insane for putting people in checkmate.
Yeah.
I lose. I'm gonna put this in your sideboard. You ready? Actually, I'm gonna put it in your main board, and there's your Tam edition. I'm gonna play Vicious Madness, and then I'm gonna lose 2 health. I don't care if it's partially blocked. I don't care. I'm gonna lose 2 health. If it's blocked, you'll lose 2. And so, It's a 10 damage throw that if you block, you take 7.
And then I get to pick it up, and if I want to, I can play it again.
And you just play it again. So I'll lose 2 to guarantee you take 10. 1 in exchange.
And is that blood for blood just an enhance, or is it?
It's just an enhance. E lose 2 : if your attack is blocked, your rival loses 2 health. Period. It can kill them. So, like, if you play good defense or you're playing against a 7-hander, you literally just, like, if you can leverage your health enough, or, like, I'll play Flame Aura as my first move and then blood for blood all my moves. Every time you block, you lose 3. Not to mention, you know, I'm playing throws, right? You just melt 7-handers. Like, that's Nightmare's entire job, is you just melt 7-handers. Yeah, if you are having an issue with Zhanghua, my suggestion would be just typing in this word. Am I crazy? And just look for all the cards that say commit or stun on. I just want foundations. What are you doing? I just want foundations. Where, like, if this card is stunned or if this card is committed to your rival's effect, they do stuff. Like, there's a Hiei card. I don't know if OG Hiei had evil. I think it's Chaos Fire Void. But there might be some ideas of, like, after this card is stunned, after my rival plays the stun ability, cancel it. Or after my opponent plays an ability that commits cards, cancel it. I just don't. I can't think of off the top of my head what they would be, but they might exist. I would just go back in time and just go do a little looking.
Gotcha.
Or, you ready? And this is crazy. Oh, sorry.
Is it evil versus good?
Nope, it's a better card. I'll just type in the word good then. It's an ampersand. What an idiot. Response: discard a momentum after a rival plays a responsibility on a non-character card, cancels effects. If they reversal you just cancel it. And there's your momentum out. There's another low block.
Yeah, it's just, was it the Incredible Display?
Yeah, correct. Yes, it's Incredible Display that has, like, a different ability. And that's why Incredible Display is so nuts, because it's a 2/5, and this is a 2/4.
That's the first card I've seen with only 2 symbols on it.
Well, it's good and evil.
Yeah.
Here's a Tam Talk for you. They should make more dual symbol and single symbol cards. Because I don't want to get on a diatribe about symbols. I'll get lost in the sauce again. Yeah. You also have, I don't know if this card has evil or not. I will just go check evil. Oh, hold on. Why are we not playing this card? Why is this card not in our deck? This card's messed up. This card's crazy.
Yeah. I have it as an option. I have the newer version and the older versions too.
This card's crazy. This card's so good. This card's so good. This card's bad in retro. Don't play that one. That's a trick.
Yeah.
They'll trick you. This card's really good in retro. This card's crazy in retro.
It's like, I know, like, I don't want to be heavy on actions because, you know, the one action I have is pretty much the busted one.
This is such a weird. Oh, sorry. This is another one of my favorite cards.
I have like 15 copies, and I have the mat of it.
This card is accidentally really good versus 7-handers too. Because it's just like after they play a responsibility, they just lose health.
Yeah, they lose 4. You lose 2.
Yeah. I'll lose 2. You lose 4. Sorry. Sorry. You're dead.
Trade.
You're dead. You died. Race against time. There was. It just might not exist on this. It can't. It can't exist on this symbol. It must have been a chaos card that I was thinking of. Yeah, we're past where we were. So this is retro, so we are allowed to off symbol stuff. Wow, this card's probably crazy in some retro deck.
Symbol chain.
Yeah, out of your league. There it is. Response, lose 3 after Revel plays a responsibility, cancels effect, remove this card. And it does not say non-character. It's just after the player responsibility, cancel it, remove this
you can
card.
chain it off of Life Force Thread.
So this has fire with it, and we have fire. So fire, chaos, fire. Ozuna drop does not fire. So if we just swapped Ozuna drop for Life Force Thread, as long as you don't have a Life Force Thread and something else in the pool, you can just cancel what Zhonghua does by paying 3 health.
I thought you could, because it removes itself and it only chains off the previous card.
It
Kinda
chains
like
off
a
of
combo.
every card in your card pool.
Did they update it?
No. Can I do this yet? Redraw first hand. It's not letting me. Let me go find a different deck, and I will show you what I mean. If I set this as the current deck, and then I didn't mean to set it as the current deck. First hand. Okay, so if I played my hand as such, you ready? I played Keeping Ares Safe as my first card. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. I've played Keeping Ares Safe. My symbol chain, this for everybody at home, this is for retro. This is exclusively for retro. Please, if you're joining right now, this is for retro symbol chaining. This has nothing to do with current UniVersus standard. These symbols that I'm allowed to play on are good, life, and void. As soon as I play Spirit Beast Poo into my card pool, my symbol chain is now on good and life. I cannot play a void card any longer. As soon as I play Resting Up, it is a good life. As soon as I play Curious, it's good life. As soon as I play New Training, it's good life. As soon as I play Always Cool, it's now locked to good. I cannot play a life or a void card anymore.
Yeah, I kind of pulled out that old rule book and looked at it a little bit deeper.
Yeah. The game asks you to draw a line. Every card in your card pool has to share at least one symbol together. It makes cards like, let me go find, I'm going to set you back to the current deck and refresh again. It was Good Air, Life, Search, Tech, Go, Hand Cannon. Nope. Single Barrel. E, discard a card, add 1 card from your opponent's card pool, discard pile to their card pool. It made this card absolutely crazy because you would take an off-symboled card and put it in their card pool, and then they're not allowed to block anymore because of how symbol chaining works. This didn't just stuff them one. If you were off-symboling these cool, I'll get rid of you. This cool out of your league or revoke. If I put the Chaos Fire card in your off-symboled Chaos Fire card in your deck, and I played Single Barrel and I put that in there, you are now only allowed to block on Chaos and Fire. So all of your exclusively evil cards, you weren't allowed. You could block. Yes, you could block. You couldn't block with Hell's Reach. You can't block with it because it doesn't have a block. You can block with this. You can't block with Most Trusted Assassin. It's just not allowed to. Not allowed to.
Yeah.
Not allowed to. You can. This one has chaos, and so like it just like severely limits what you do.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Because like in the original one, there was a Dark Current Limos in there with chain block or chain symbol chaining.
Yeah. Yes. Because that doesn't have evil. That has chaos. But like the idea was like I played Vicious Madness, and then on turn 2, and it hit and goes to momentum, and then I'll just play another Vicious Madness. Or sorry, I have to play
Life Force.
Life Force Thread, and then I'll just pick it up. Because that card doesn't have. Why would he had Dark Tournament Looms in this deck?
The budget version, I think it was when I initially got it, but it also had Lightning Torture, or what it was.
Yeah.
So he has some other cards that match with Life Force Thread.
Weird. Weird. Okay then. Any final thoughts? We took a bit of a trip down memory lane. 61 card list. I mean, These cards are just better than the cards that were reprinted, that are currently printed. They just are.
Gotcha.
Because they don't make strong throws like they used to.
Correct. They don't make strong throws, and they don't like under the evil symbol, right? Like your gimmick of printed speed, or doubled speed, double damage. I don't have a quick way to say it, but like doesn't exist under the evil symbol.
Yeah, it's very limited.
Under chaos, though, you do get this card, Zero Gravity Lift, which is kind of crazy in a Nightmare deck. It's a 4 for 8 that then like clears your card pool after every turn. Oh, it's silly. That's super silly. You also get Zero Gravity Barrier, but it's a 2-check, so we'll never play it. Never play it ever. All right. Final thoughts?
Bring webcam back.
Please bring webcam back. I'm begging. Hey, announcement this upcoming weekend. I'm hoping as soon as I get a conversation from Redacted. He's got to let me know. All right. Stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you the list, and you have a good rest of your night, okay?
You too.
We'll see you, buddy.
Thank you.